discoverability is a big thing. So those of you who are hoping to make a UEFN game and upload it and hope to get millions, you're in for a serious shock. You have to do a lot of work to get to discoverability. One part of the process is making the game, making a fun game with full of great game design. The other part is passing moderation. And then the other part is getting it out to make sure people see it. Now, we were quite fortunate. We got an epic pick. Anyone can do that. Submit it. You can submit as many times, actually. But you can't just rely on an epic pick, because that only lasts for like a couple of days, right? Or maybe a week. But you can't just rely on that. So what else could we do? Well, we also have to look at the metrics as well. Can't just look at the fact that how many times we get an epic pick. So I never thought I'd spend that much time looking at graphs, and I actually find graphs really sexy when it comes to Fortnite. So I know, nerd. But it was really important to see that, because now I can start to see at certain points we had very high peaks. And we ask ourselves, we ask everyone on the team, what did we do at that point that got that spike? Was it an update in the game? Was it a specific press release we put out? What was it? Was it a festival? So those are the sort of things we start to like log. And obviously average play time. And, you know, for us, total unique players is a bit more important than lifetime plays, because we want to know who are the individual people, how many individual people there are. So the world of metric plays a big part in the game. Now, obviously, when you're making traditional games, you make it, you ship it to the publisher releases it, and then you get a sales report once in a while. In the case of this, every morning, every evening, I'm refreshing my metrics to see what's going on. It plays a big part of the game design process. So how do we get these metrics to spike up more? It's not going to be rocket science, guys. Shout about the game. Shout as loud as possible about your game. Get people to play your game. And the only way to get them to play your game is to market the hell out of it. You don't need a massive marketing budget. A lot of it is your time. A lot of it is we all spend time on Instagram. We all spend time on social media. Use that time while you're looking at cute pictures of cats. Post about your game as well. And dogs as well, for the dog lovers. But one thing that doesn't really get talked about is the replay feature. I freaking love the replay feature. In fact, the trailer that you saw was pretty much a lot of replay action from the game, but I can also create screenshots. So, you know, I put it on my 4K monitor, make sure the resolution of the graphics card is high enough, and I just go in there, find a good angle, take a snippet screenshot, boom, I got some great screenshots. You do that as many times as you want. You can use OBS to record some footage, but it's there, guys. We have a really cool system called Replay. We should use the hell out of this, because you can't just show footage of your game in action. That's cool, but you kind of need to think trailer, Hollywood trailer moments. What are the sexy moments that's going to grab someone's attention? And it's the cool, sexy moments, the trailer shots, we call it. So here's some examples of some of the screenshots. And again, these are all screenshots captured directly in Replay. There is no photoshopping. There is no color correction. That is raw screenshot, raw PNGs. So already your marketing is way easier than doing traditional film marketing, because you have great content coming out of Replay. You just gotta think of it as like you're a camera person making a documentary and you're trying to capture moments. Or if you're on a Michael Bay movie trying to capture action, which would be super fast. And this is some of the online press coverage we got. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about this, because naturally you would think I'm just going to post it on the Fortnite sites, right? I'm just going to post it to game sites. No. Think of a hook on your game. Think of a hook as you, as creators. Press, PR, marketing, they love the story about the creator. The game is kind of secondary. It's about the people that make the game. So for us, you know, we were quite early adopters. So we were talking about how we're transitioning from TV to video games, and it's what we're using. So places like Televisual, that only covers movies and TV, covered it. We had Game Beat. We had Creative Blog. We had a ton of magazines covering it. In fact, speaking of magazines, I even got it in Edge. Who reads Edge magazine and who knows for Edge? Okay, that's probably... Okay, cool. I mean, for me, I bought issue 1 when I was in college. And when I left the game industry, I thought, I'm never going to get an Edge because I'm working in film. Moontopia got me into Edge, and I'm working in the game industry. So again, what was the hook for the journalist? It wasn't just about a game. It was the fact that I'm tapping into the world of Fortnite to expand my IP into the world of gaming. That is great article material, because Hollywood is tapping into doing the same thing. Mario, Sonic, Pikachu, tons of The Last of Us. All these games turn into movies. It's a big industry now. So find your moment. Of course, social media, like I said earlier, Twitter, I find, or X as we call it now, is you find a lot of Fortnite people up there. Share, engage with other people. Become friends with them. Don't just brag about your game, but comment about their game as well. Say, hey, I love your game. And then, like, for example, Immature Gamer will say, hey, what's a new map I should play? And then my friend would say, hey, you should play Moonopia. That helps a lot. It may not get millions of views, but you got people. You got 10, 20, even 30 people is enough. Go to game conventions. Go to trade shows. I went to IBC. I went to Gamescom. And I talked about Moonopia, just like I am doing today. Also, get yourself a Fortnite creator page because it's pretty dope. And but also, it's a validation thing to show that you are serious about making content in that ecosystem. GIFs. We all love GIFs. And I love creating GIFs. So I use Giphy. Go on to Giphy.com, sign up. I don't work for Giphy, just in case you're wondering. And just create an account. And then use Replay to create these little loopable moments. And now, now we have, on these ones we don't have it, but on the new ones we have Find It on Fortnite. Now, you're thinking, how does GIFs help? I mean, how does that help get my game exposed? Bam, we had 3.3 million GIF views. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to get 3.3 million Fortnite players, but it shows that 3.3 million people have downloaded Moonopia GIFs and are aware of your brand. That's the thing we're creating, guys. We're not just creating a game in UEFN. We're creating a brand. We're in for the long haul. We want people to be talking about Moonopia, whether it's a film, whether it's a game, whether it's a comic book, whatever, whether it's a podcast show. The other thing you have to remember is it doesn't stop when you release the game. You constantly have to update. So you have to, that's some of the things you have to think at the back of your head, especially game producers, that this isn't just a one-off thing. So UEFN is constantly being updated. You have to update your game. Right down to like, how can we create fun storytelling moments like this? We just put dub some voices in there. It could be kind of funny. Instead of going across, let's go upwards. So create more platforms. And now you've got a different games mechanic in there involved. Use the grinder rail, which came out at the time we were doing this. You're constantly updating the game. Why? Not because you always want to be up to date with the latest UEFN features, mainly because you want people to come back to your game. You've got to give them a reason to come back to your game. You want to have a reason to do more marketing material. Update your game, you got more marketing material. You got more additional new users coming.